the Democratic Leadership Conference, intended as a showcase of unity, where party leaders would strategize and celebrate the future of the Democratic Party, erupted into tension the moment Bill Clinton approached the microphone. The room fell silent as the 42nd president, exuding his signature confidence and smirk, faced hundreds of donors, activists, and elected officials who had paid thousands expecting guidance, only to witness an unexpected confrontation. Clinton's gaze fixed on Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, whose quiet intensity masked the storm ahead, as he subtly questioned her legal experience, implying that her years as a public defender were insufficient for shaping national policy. Murmurs rippled through the audience, some in agreement, others uneasy, while cameras and pens documented every detail. This clash was more than politics. It was a test of power, experience, and respect, pitting the old guard against the new generation's fearless voice. Every attendee sensed the stakes. The confrontation highlighted deeper tensions within the Democratic Party between centrist establishment figures and diverse, younger leaders reshaping its future. On one side stood Clinton, 78, a figure whose name commanded respect, a former president known for Southern charm, political instinct, and a complicated legacy marked by both accomplishments and scandals. Opposite him was 43-year-old Jasmine Crockett, the rising star from Texas's 30th Congressional District, a civil rights attorney and public defender whose meticulous preparation and fearless advocacy had made her a formidable presence in the House of Representatives. Where Clinton symbolized the establishment, Crockett embodied a new, determined generation unafraid to challenge authority, making their confrontation not merely a clash of personalities, but a collision of eras, philosophies, and leadership styles, a moment in which everyone in the room felt history about to be made. The stage was set, and what had begun as a Democratic Leadership Conference intended for unity and strategic planning had transformed into a high-stakes battlefield, buzzing with anticipation from party insiders, donors, and elected officials. Bill Clinton approached the podium, exuding his signature charisma and decades of political experience. But instead of offering guidance, he launched a direct attack on the young Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, questioning her legal expertise and implying that her years as a public defender and civil rights attorney were insufficient for shaping national policy. Murmurs rippled through the audience as Clinton sharpened his critique, painting young politicians as grandstanders lacking substance, while Crockett remained calm, her composure unshaken. Slowly rising from her seat with a folder in hand, Crockett approached the microphone, her every step echoing through the hushed hall. In a voice both measured and authoritative, she responded by meticulously detailing her legal accomplishments. Over 300 criminal cases, trials, appeals, and constitutional defenses, demonstrating that her experience was far from superficial. Then, turning the critique back on Clinton, she presented a document from the Arkansas Legal Disciplinary Committee that revealed his 5-year law license suspension following the Paula Jones case, sending gasps through the room. The energy shifted dramatically as Crockett's preparation, poise, and strategic counterattack transformed what could have been a humiliation into a career-defining moment, establishing her as a commanding force within the Democratic Party and signaling that the rising generation was ready to challenge even the most seasoned political giants. The room remained frozen for a few heartbeats as Crockett's words sank in, before reactions erupted almost simultaneously. Some attendees gasped, others instinctively reached for their phones, and cameras captured every second of what was clearly a historic confrontation. Applause began in hesitant pockets, growing louder and surer until a wave of standing ovations swept through the hall, the energy electric and unmistakably in Crockett's favor. Prominent Democrats, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, nodded in approval, while senators and committee leaders whispered about the shifting power dynamics. Even the press, initially skeptical, scrambled to document the moment, and within minutes, social media exploded. Hashtags like #CrockettClapback and #NextGenLeadership trended nationwide, with clips, memes, and reaction videos highlighting the contrast between the composed, commanding Crockett and a visibly rattled Clinton. Political consultants marveled at her execution, noting how she had turned a potentially humiliating attack into a demonstration of competence, leadership, and strategy. Progressive activists hailed the exchange as a watershed moment, inspiring grassroots movements and energizing donors, particularly first-time small-dollar contributors. Traditional media headlines celebrated her triumph, while legal journals praised her factual, strategic defense that emphasized the significance of public defender experience in governance. The viral nature of the confrontation sparked nationwide debate about the future of the Democratic Party, generational change, and the ability of women of color to challenge entrenched hierarchies. By the end of the day, Crockett had transcended her role as a Texas congresswoman, emerging as a national symbol of preparation, courage, and the evolving dynamics of American politics. The day after the confrontation, the Democratic Party establishment scrambled to manage the fallout, with high-ranking officials privately expressing surprise at the audacity and precision of Crockett's response. Clinton's advisors quickly convened to craft statements that would protect his image, while some veteran Democrats privately criticized Crockett for the perceived harshness of confronting a former president in front of party elites. However, these critiques were drowned out by widespread praise from younger members of Congress, progressive activists, and social media audiences, highlighting a stark generational divide. Established leaders valued decorum, while the new wave celebrated courage, preparation, and unapologetic truth-telling. Clinton issued a carefully worded statement through his spokesperson, emphasizing that his remarks were intended to underscore the importance of experience rather than personally attack Crockett. But the clarification only highlighted the potency of her meticulously documented rebuttal. Political strategists quickly analyzed the exchange, noting that Crockett had redefined the playbook for progressive politicians, demonstrating how preparation and factual evidence could neutralize attacks from party elders, and speculating that her example would influence future primaries and legislative interactions. Within Congress, colleagues treated her with newfound respect, her committee hearings and questions carrying greater weight, while younger Democrats saw her as a role model for navigating a political environment that often undervalued their expertise. Crockett's confrontation accelerated generational shifts within the party, balancing the authority of senior figures against the rising influence of diverse, younger leaders and inspiring a culture of accountability and merit-based recognition. Strategically, the event informed leadership decisions, endorsements, and mentoring programs, as consultants cited it as a case study in preparation, messaging, and credibility under pressure. Beyond party politics, Crockett became a symbol of societal change, demonstrating to women and marginalized communities nationwide that calm authority and strategic thinking could challenge historically powerful figures. By transforming what could have been a vulnerable moment into a defining political triumph, Crockett reshaped perceptions of herself and the Democratic Party's leadership dynamics, elevating her national profile, expanding her influence in legislative negotiations, and marking the emergence of a new generation of leaders poised to redefine political norms, expectations, and strategies. The moment Jasmine Crockett confronted Bill Clinton didn't remain confined to the conference hall. It exploded across every media platform, with clips rapidly uploaded to social media and hashtags like #CrockettVsClinton and #ReceiptsMatter trending nationally. Progressive activists amplified the story as a historic moment of accountability, while traditional media outlets dissected the exchange, debating its implications for party unity, leadership, and generational dynamics. Crockett's calm, methodical dismantling of Clinton's attack captivated audiences worldwide, with younger Democrats, first-time voters, and grassroots supporters praising her preparation, poise, and courage. Memes and reaction videos highlighted the stark contrast between her strategic composure and Clinton's momentary stumble, and polling showed a spike in her national recognition alongside unprecedented fundraising support. International media noted the confrontation as a symbol of changing political norms, emphasizing the value of diverse professional experiences in leadership. Beyond the immediate spectacle, the exchange underscored the power of preparation, the importance of respecting diverse experiences, and the rising influence of a younger, more diverse cohort of leaders challenging entrenched hierarchies. Videos of the incident were studied in law schools, political science courses, and leadership programs as an exemplar of strategic advocacy and ethical confrontation, inspiring dialogue about accountability and the role of evidence-based leadership. Historically, the Crockett-Clinton moment became a cultural and political touchstone, symbolizing a generational shift, the necessity of integrity in leadership, and the ability of courageous, prepared individuals to redefine power dynamics. In essence, Crockett's confrontation was more than a political victory. It was a symbolic passing of the torch, demonstrating the future of leadership in a society that values diversity, accountability, and fearless advocacy, inspiring generations of politicians, lawyers, and citizens to stand firm in the face of intimidation and reshape history.